How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another video. It's been a long time, especially an even longer time since we have really had a sit-down chat and a little commentary action. But I still love these videos. I still love making these types of videos. It's just one issue that I've been having is I just haven't played my computer. I don't have any gameplays and nothing like that, and I haven't had much to chat about, to be honest. Nothing I've really been able to think about. That was until now. Xbox is raising their prices. And it's all to do with the Nintendo price increase. Now, if you haven't heard, Xbox has announced, I think it was just a couple days ago when the article dropped, that right now they are raising the console prices by $100 each. So the Xbox Series X, a 5-year-old console now, is going to be $600, $599 USD. Let alone if you're in another country where it's even more expensive. And then in the holiday season, games standard price are going to go up from $70 to $80. I think this is just insane. And I know it's all to do with Nintendo. Now, when Nintendo Showcase came out, and it came out, maybe about a month ago now, and they announced the base price of Mario Kart 10 or 9, whatever it is going to be $80 for the base game, not even a special edition or anything like that. $80. And then for Breath of the Wild Switch 2 Remaster is also going to be $90 for it with its DLC, which is just an astronomical price for the games. I mean, what are we supposed to do? I mean, we have spent the last 6 years in like a crazy level of inflation. No one can afford anything. I mean, shit, I can't afford new games. I'm lucky if I don't go negative in my bank account after paying bills after the month. How am I supposed to continue playing games? I mean, you spend all day working. I spend 10, 12 hours a day working my ass off, and then all of a sudden, boom, now I got to spend all that money just to go try to have fun, and most of the games that are coming out are just pieces of shit. Like, it's crazy. And we're going to see games. Now, everyone's like, some of the people that are justifying it are like, oh, but like, I would so pay $80 for a God of War. God of War was amazing. It's like, sure, we're going to see a couple games out there that are worth that $80 price point, that are a banging game, that are just phenomenal. But we all know that 90% of the games that are going to go up to $80 is going to be Call of Duty, Ubisoft games. I mean, all these publishers, all these constant games filled with live service slop that usually get shut down within a year, if they even make it that long. And we're going to be expected to pay $80 up front for it, just for a failed project that's not even going to hold our attention for long. And I think this is just a doom to the gaming world. This is not just, and some people are hailing that, oh yeah, well, Xbox has been going on shitter anyway. This is, if Microsoft themselves are doing this, that means PlayStation was probably already thinking it, and PlayStation will probably come up with an announcement, and those PlayStation's going to say, you know what, we have the player base, we're going to undercut everyone and just stay where we are. Which at that point, that would convince me to be, all right, I'm going back to PlayStation. You know, I got an Xbox. An Xbox Series X is my main console. I love the Xbox. But Microsoft has been just failing left and right, and Nintendo shills are just saying, like, I've heard so many people praising Nintendo, like, not even praising or just accepting it, which is crazy to me. The issue is that these companies have so many people that just refuse to back down from what their opinion is of being correct. And it also stems from almost like the original console wars, like the Xbox 360 versus PS3, of where people made their entire personality over these consoles. Whereas I have a Switch, I have an Xbox, and I have a PlayStation 5. I have accumulated them over time, and you know, I have all of them, and I enjoy all of them, and I play my Xbox more than any of them. But I'm not just sitting here saying that Xbox is better. My opinion is not Xbox is better. My opinion is I enjoy the Xbox a bit better. I've always liked the controllers more, and I appreciated Game Pass more than I like the PlayStation Plus offerings. So I switched to Xbox. You know, I used to be mainly on PS4 for the last generation, But now I switched back to Xbox. And, I've had my same Xbox account. I mean, this account is almost 20 years old. It was made in 2006. I took it from my father. But so I've been with Xbox a really long time. My family's been with Xbox a really long time. But I've never once just pledged my allegiance to Xbox. And this is why. Because now I want to vote with my wallet and just not support them anymore, which I was super hopeful. I thought Xbox was coming out with an absolute win and that this was going to be a sign for the future. I even saw a couple other videos where people were praising them, talking about it. When Xbox dropped Oblivion Remastered for $50, that was insane. I mean, if this was a PlayStation Remaster, they would have dropped it for a $90 collector's edition. To get a skin pack or whatnot. Just like The Last of Us Remaster and The Last of Us 2 Remaster. Last of Us 2 did not need a fucking remaster. I don't care what anyone says. That game was gorgeous. The only thing they should have done, and pretty much from what I understand, all it really has done is like how most of the old school Xbox exclusives that aren't multiplat, if you play them on Series X, have an FPS boost to them. Like Gears of War is the big one I can think of. Like all the Gears of Wars have an FPS boost to them. Because they weren't originally made for the Series X, but they're compatible with them. As opposed to repackaging Gears of War for, here you go. Now it runs at 80 FPS as opposed to, sometimes 40. Oh, man. Sorry, I'm just kind of getting an angry rant. I'm just upset. It's like gaming is a hobby that I've had my entire life. And yeah, I'm a fat piece of shit that just sits inside and plays too many video games. But, man, what is a brother supposed to do when he just needs to relax and get an escape? There has been like maybe 5 games in the last 4 years that I have actually played and enjoyed thoroughly. Dragon's Dogma 2. I got lost in that game. I loved that game. I thought that was worth every penny. I spent the $70 for the deluxe edition, and I was happy. I got my money's worth out of that. God of War Ragnarok. I got that with my PS5. That was the entire reason I got a PS5. Was because they didn't have it for PS4, but they had it with PS5s in the box. So, and I loved it. Worth my money, and a couple other games on the PS5 have been worth some entertainment. And I'm just going to group these two together, but I really enjoyed A Plague Tale. Both 1 and 2, Requiem and Innocence. I really enjoyed those games. And then finally, honestly, Marvel Rivals. I've really been enjoying Marvel Rivals. I wish I could make content for it, but it's on my Xbox, and there's no cross-play, or cross-save, So I will not go on my computer, because I'm level 48 on my Xbox, and I have skins, and I'm not going to rebuy it. I'm not addicted to the game where I'm going to play it on multiple platforms and grind multiple platforms. But I do really like that game. I have been really enjoying it. It's been a great time. It has brought all my friends back together, and it's just been a blast. And I mean, it's just this is the future, man. It was scary with the rumors of Rockstar going to release GTA 6, possibility at a base game of $120, and then there's also talks of the CEO wanted to charge a fee, like an ongoing subscription fee after purchasing the base game to play the game of possibly, like $5 a month or something like that. I know he said something along those lines about how there should be a continuous pay stuff, not just trying to allure you with microtransactions, but a physical cost to play the game, which in my opinion is why games like World of Warcraft are nowhere near as big anymore, is because you have to spend the money on the base game and pay the monthly subscription. So, I mean, this is the future of gaming, and we're just going to have to sit along for the ride. I know one guy with 42 subscribers on YouTube sitting here ranting about it in his microphone with a 3D printer going in the background. And I don't remember if I apologize for that or not. Sorry, it's been whirling in the background. But this is just how it is. It is the future of gaming. Now, I want to briefly move over because one of my longtime viewers that always makes me happy to see in the comments, Brew, had asked me my opinion on the Switch 2. And because this kind of encompasses the Switch 2, let me say my thoughts on it. Just because I was going to make it its own video, but I couldn't quite justify it. The Switch 2, I think, is going to be a decently popular console. I mean, it's Nintendo. Nintendo will make their money back. But I don't think it is coming out in the state that it should be. They are equating it to a PS4 Pro performance. Now, on paper, at first when I first heard that, I'm like, oh, PS4 Pro, yeah, I could, I remember playing Red Dead Redemption 2 on my PS4 Pro, and, it's a decently capable console, but at the same time, the PS4 Pro came out in 2015. I just fact-checked myself. Sorry, I'm 1 year off. 2016. November 2016 is when it came out. So that means this is a 9-year-old console that is being put in a handheld. Now, I get it, the handheld, but now if it was PS4 Pro performance in handheld mode, and I'm not expecting PS5, Xbox Series X, but maybe like stable frame rate PS4 Pro when docked and stuff like that, because one of the big things that I've really hated of this new console generation, ever since the Pro consoles came out, is there's always been a graphics mode and a prioritized performance mode. And what is just crazy about it is I don't understand how so many people are getting away with it. I mean, I know, because I was one of them. I'm tired of seeing games that can't look their prettiest and run well, where you have this game that, you want it to run well, it's going to look like shit. I paid so much money for my 4K OLED TV, and half of these games you can't even run in quality mode, because it's 120 hertz TV, and a 30 FPS game on a 60 hertz display doesn't hurt nearly as bad. I mean, you could still tell. But whoa, does it feel sluggish when you have all that refresh rate. So it was the game that I honestly can think about is, in one of the games I said that was one of my favorites, was A Plague Tale Requiem. When that came out, if I put it on the prioritized performance mode, the game looked like you just got smeared Vaseline all over the screen. Oh, it was ugly. I'm like, oh, what is going on? And I was hyped for that game. But when you put it on graphics mode, the game looks beautiful, looks stunning. But it locks it down to 30 FPS. And like, oh, great. So on one hand, I think PS4 Pro performance for the Switch 2 is going to be good. But on the other hand, I'm also skeptical of it, because PS4 Pro in a handheld is a technical feat. I like that. PS4 Pro power in your hands would be nice. However, for a 2025 console, it's going to cost almost $500. PS4 Pro performance on your TV, when they're still making freaking games for the PS4 Pro, I mean, shit, Call of Duty still came out on it. I'd rather have the PS4 Pro for $180, and when you get the same performance out of it. Now, of course, you don't get the longevity. Well, whatever. So that's kind of my opinions. I think, is the console going to be a runaway success? Yeah. Am I going to get one? I mean, maybe in the way future, but I didn't even get a Switch on launch, and I've had a Switch for 4 years now, probably since I think I got it in the pandemic. And I think I've played it since the pandemic. I can count on two hands. I don't even know where it's at, to be honest. I think my mom has it because she liked playing the Switch Sports on it. I think that's where it's at, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen it in over 3 years, or 2 years probably. So that shows how much of a Nintendo fan I am, but also, it's just, yeah, I liked Animal Crossing, I like Mario Kart, but I got a Wii, so that's where we get our Mario Kart fix in. We play the old Mario Kart Wii. So, yeah, that's kind of my overall opinion. Overall, I think it's going to be a mediocre console, but is it going to be a runaway success? Yeah. I'm not seeing anything like Nintendo coming out with a new gimmick, because it's just a Switch. It's just a more powerful Switch. Which, I mean, the Switch is a cool console, but I mean, it's an old console at this point. It's not impressive. Not anymore. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, it's been a while. Hope you all enjoyed my little rant, my little commentary. Hopefully, I can find some stuff to do again in the future. And who knows, if I find a good deal on a capture card, I'll hook it up my laptop, and I'll go put it on the Xbox and start making some content on some rivals. But until then, capture cards are $200. So that's going to wait. I'll catch you on the next one.